thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
I feel like we're best friends. We just haven't seen each other in a while.
Exactly.
So I know you felt the same way.
I did.
Right, exactly. So I was pleased that we had a second to talk. So when you're on the road now, you're on your 5th show. When you were a kid, I have to think that you had dreams about being on the road and playing shows, the essence basically of exactly what you're doing right now. Is that true?
Well, actually, when I was a kid, I wanted to be on Broadway. That was my big dream. So my dreams have shifted and changed over the past couple of years. I got into my 20s, had done a lot of musical theater, and after a little while, I was like, I really want to do this anymore. And so then I started having dreams of being a rock star. And so it was a slow transition, but over the past couple of years, my dreams have been, I want to do arenas, I want to do music videos, I want to play dress up all the time,
right?
Push people's buttons, and now I'm getting to do it.
And so in just these last 5 shows on the road, what has been the happiest surprise, and then on the converse of that, the biggest,
obviously getting out on stage with all the support and love has been overwhelming and moving, and we get to rock out every night. It's so cool. The hardest part, the part that gets a little tough, is the fact that we have to do it every night. It's very draining energy-wise, but I think with all the support and love in that arena, whatever it may be, it kind of charges you and gets you going.
Oh, I'm sure.
But there's that that hour when you first get to the arena where you're like, oh my god,
I'm so tired.
My voice. Oh, yeah. But it seems to work out every time. So it asked me at show 40, and I'll probably have a different
Right, exactly. You'll say, Jane, we have to talk again. So in terms of the fascination with American Idol, I think the number one reason that it's captivated the country so much is obviously because it takes unknowns, if you will, and makes them a household name within the span of a month. I mean, a couple months ago I'd never heard of Adam Lambert. Now I have a Rolling Stone with him on the cover, which, by the way, was that the coolest moment of your entire life?
That, when they told me that I was going to get, I was like, what? Freaking kidding me? Oh my gosh, it was amazing. I said, well, who else am I going to be on the cover with? Like, oh, just you. I was like, what?
What? Say that again. One more time. Say what? Was the photo shoot
it was so much fun. Matthew Ralston is an incredible photographer. I actually knew who he was. Some videos of his I was aware of. And he was amazing and had all these great ideas, and we collaborated on a bunch of our setups. And the interview process was amazing. I spent 3 or 4 different days with this woman named Vanessa who interviewed me. And I just decided that I was going to be completely open book about everything.
Right.
And that was really important to me, because now that the show was over, I thought, you know what, why not just crack the book wide open? You know, there's interest now.
Right.
People are supporting me for the right reasons, because of singing, because of music and entertainment. And now I can be completely 100% honest, I think. I didn't want certain elements of my personal life to overshadow myself as an entertainer. And that's why I kind of kept my cards close for a little while.
Totally. Yeah. Well, yeah. I think that makes perfect sense. And I think the way that you did it was just so true to yourself. You got to orchestrate it kind of in a way exactly the way that you wanted to, like what you just said.
I could like to control things.
Yes, tiny bit. Little control freak.
Just a little bit.
So in terms of that transition from an unknown to being on the cover of Rolling Stone, in terms of the actual timeline of this last whirlwind that you've gone through, what was the first experience that you had once you'd been part of the American Idol process where you thought, oh my God, this is going to change my life. I am going to be famous?
I think that midway through the competition, I did Ring of Fire, and I remember it got such a strong reaction, both good and bad.
Right.
And I realized how people were arguing about it.
Right.
Thank you. I appreciate that. People were fighting about it. Like, no, it was great. No, it was horrible. And I realized how passionate everybody got, whether or not they liked it or not. And I went, I think I'm doing something right.
Yeah.
If I can get people talking that much, there's something happening here.
Was there a change in terms of you walking down the street where all of a sudden you thought, okay, now I'm getting noticed in a way I wasn't before, or now people know my name when I'm at Starbucks?
We weren't really walking down many streets at that point. We were kind of kept safe in a little bubble. But as soon as the show ended, I had some freedom, and it was pretty overwhelming the first couple weeks, because literally wherever I went to a doctor's appointment for a physical for the tour.
Right.
They were giving everybody physicals to make sure we were healthy.
Right.
And I left the doctor's office, and I got attacked by about 12 to 14 paparazzi guys who are insane.
And they're all screaming your name.
They're insane.
Yeah.
They're like jackals. And I was like, oh my gosh, and I kept it cool, but it was a little bit shocking and a little nerve-wracking.
Did it give you a different perspective on growing up watching Angelina and Brad and people, and you think, oh my God, they've gone through this every day of their life for 20 years?
It's nuts. Now I know what they're all talking about. That's when we're on the outside looking in, people complain about paparazzi, and you're like, what are you complaining about? Your life's amazing. And it's hard, when you want to go to the grocery store and just like do something normal and you can't. I mean, it's very interesting.
Adam really does shop at Trader Joe's.
Stars are just like us.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Adam checks to see if he paid it checks his receipt as he's walking out the door. You're like, oh my
if you
god.
trick me, do I not believe? I mean, it's like I'm just one of you, But I mean, that's the thing is that.
Have you seen yourself in Stars Are Just Like Us, by the way?
Not necessarily
Okay,
that.
because that'll be
column, but
insane when you do see that.
Probably.
Yeah.
It'll probably happen. I mean, I've seen myself in some of these tabloids, and it's so weird.
Right.
It's so weird.
Did you ever read the tabloids before you were famous?
Yeah.
So now you're like total.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I hate to admit that, but I mean, it's fascinating, and I don't know. I think that it's cool though because I think that people are interested.
Yeah.
And I just hope that I can create something that's worthy of that interest.
Do you feel like, do you have any kind of protections in place, or do you have any kind of mental plan to make sure that you stay the Adam that you were before? I mean, is there kind of like, I don't want to,
It is hard. I think
let everything go to my head?
Yeah, you have to stay grounded. And I think that the best way to do that is, really keep your closest friends close, really keep those relationships strong with the people that you were close with before.
Right.
That's going to be a major help, I think, for me.
Have you been able to do that so far?
Yeah,
Like, you still can
I'm
stay in
really
touch with
busy, but
everybody?
technology's amazing. I got my iPhone. I'm like, all connected. And
Do you have family in the Bay Area too?
I do. Yeah, I'm going to see a bunch of them tonight.
Oh,
yeah.
cool.
My mom lives up here. My aunt and my uncle and my cousins live up here. So I'm going to see a lot of people.
And so, about how many times do you think they voted total?
I don't know. I didn't.
450,000 sometime. You didn't ask them.
Well, I don't think my mom voted that much because she was at most of the shows.
Oh yeah, you
was
can't be
actually
sitting there
there.
texting
Yeah.
or something, can you? I wonder if they let you vote at the show. That's a great question.
No, they take your phone.
They do
audience.
in the
Yeah.
audience. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Huh.
But I think extended family probably voted.
Tiny bit,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
Everybody camped around canceling their lives like we were going to vote the entire time.
I just, it's still shocking me. Like when I really stop and think about it, I'm like, wow, cool.
What happened?
Yeah, because I didn't think I would get that far at all. I was in Hollywood.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
I did.
Really, truly?
Really,
because
truly.
I feel like, Adam, you have to know that you were going to. I mean, you're so talented. You hear your own voice. You see yourself. You have to go
like
back.
I said, midway
and I'm
through.
just saying, it's a compliment.
Well, thank you. And I think midway through, I started going, okay, this is working.
Right.
But when I first auditioned, I thought, I know I can sing.
Right.
I was like, this isn't Idol. I'm not Idol guy.
Got it.
I'm not that dude. And the first couple weeks, I played it somewhat safe. I was still a little edgy, but then with Ring of Fire, for example, that was when I really turned the corner.
Right.
I was like, I don't
You're
want my
like,
makeup and my
hello.
weird clothes and just go for it.
This is me.
Yeah, and so the fact that people liked it was really surprising to me, and it felt really good. It's like, oh, great! There is interest in something a little more alternative and something a little bit out of the box.
Right.
That's exciting.
And interest is an understatement, I think. I mean, you absolutely. What did Entertainment Weekly say? You saved the show.
Yeah.
You changed the show. I mean, that Entertainment Weekly was awesome. I really thought that the compliments that they gave you in that article were so true in terms of saving the idea. Not that the show needed saving per se, but in terms of changing what the show was and everybody's excitement in it, because you were the first really new, different thing to come along in a long time.
Well, they were. I owe this show so much. The producers and all the people that work on the show, because they didn't stifle it ever for 1 minute.
Which is awesome
They were
to hear.
very supportive. They were like, look, we want you to do your thing.
Right.
Go. And they were always very facilitating, and they, even with ideas with lighting and props and stuff on stage, they were like, what do you want? And I'm like, well, can I come down the stairs, or can I get a chair? Can you light me from behind? I want blue light, and they were really responsive.
Right. Did they ever give you guidance about your makeup or hair or anything? No?
No, in the very beginning, they were like, you look really pale. And I was like, okay, load on the bronzer. Because contrary to some people's belief, I wouldn't give myself a goth label. I don't even know what that means.
I hate that too.
I don't even know what it means.
that
What does it
word.
mean?
I have absolutely no idea, but I'm not wearing a damn veil, for God's sake, which is what I think it makes it sound like.
I don't
Thank
get it.
you.
What is
Thank
it?
you,
What does it
Adam.
mean?
I have absolutely no idea.
I think all that stuff,
I
I think all labels and things like that, they're so passe and old fashioned, emo, even emo. What does emo mean?
Right.
Emotional?
Yeah,
What does that mean?
that's technically where it came
Isn't
from.
everybody emotional?
I was going to say, yeah.
I don't really understand these labels.
Well, thank God we're here to straighten it out.
Yeah.
They were just waiting for us.
Yeah, there shouldn't be. No one should be generalizing. And it's like just because you like black and looking dramatic doesn't make you goth.
Exactly. I'm like, I'm not goth. I just am pale and wear dark red lipstick and dye my hair
looks
black.
hot.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. So on that note, we're getting the wrap-up signs.
Okay.
It's so great to talk to you.
Nice
Thank
to
you
meet
so
you.
much for
Yeah.
getting a chance to come over and say hi.
My
I had a
pleasure.
great time tonight.
It's gonna be fun.
And I hope you get a chance to stay with your family and enjoy getting some quality time.
It won't be that much quality time. I mean, it's going to be literally like I get to see them at the giant meet and greet where everybody else gets to meet me. But you know what? I'm not complaining.
Better than nothing.
Better than nothing.
All right.
Yeah.
Adam
Awesome.
Lambert, thank you so much.
Thank you. Ooh, you smell good.
Oh, thank you. I was going to tell you the same thing.